All right, this is Dr. MarkDeBrincat. It is December 16th, 2019, and this will be our final Vox practitioner call for the year. So absolutely an amazing year for Vox and for eSmarter. For a lot of you, you're just now learning about what eSmarter is, but this has been an incredible year, and I've had such an amazing opportunity to literally travel the globe and be able to share this technology with very influential people and be able to map executives and athletes and be able to show them in their brain exactly what's happened when they put either one of our technologies on them. And I'm going to share some pretty cool stuff tonight that we've been seeing with the eSmarter and with the HPT. But first, let's talk a little bit about our practitioner program and how it has grown so much over this last year. So we are a little over 2,000 practitioners now, and so we've more than doubled since a year ago. And we plan on even doubling that this year as we expand into so many more markets with our new products. And so we are literally a neurotech wearable company that has posture, balance, stability, pain relief, cognition, and then soon to be metabolic boost and a REM sleep patch. And so those are some new products that'll be coming out in the spring of next year. And those will be two new patches. One where you go to bed and it'll help you get into that deep REM sleep for longer. So ideally to get enough restorative sleep to replace the cells that you need to replace every night in your body, we need ideally an hour of deep REM sleep and 3 hours of REM sleep. So if we can achieve that in a night, we're sufficiently getting what we need to rebuild our cells and to maintain, our vitality in our life. And so this will be a patch that'll help so many of you be able to get into those deeper levels of sleep, wake up more refreshed, and feel better all day. So when you feel good, you look good, and then you do good, right? So that's what it's all about, doing good. And if we're not feeling good, we're not going to really be that much of an impact to people in our lives. And so, it's very exciting to be able to have technology like this, to be able to be our best all the time. So we also have one called a metabolic patch. It's going to be called the Meta Patch. And this is going to help increase your basal metabolic rate. So it's going to help you literally burn fat. And at the same time, it's not going to increase your heart rate at all. So these are two very exciting products that I'm sure we're all going to see major benefits from. Now, the couple products that have recently come out and that are available right now for all the practitioners are our compression socks, which these are medical grade. Let me go ahead and share the screen. And so these are our Vox Therapy, and these are a graduated compression. So basically, you can see on the diagram here, at the bottom part, it's over 30% compression, and then it goes up between 21 and 30, 15 to 24, and then 12 to 18 up top. So it's a graduated compression, and you can see what really cool designs we have. There's really nothing like this on the market. Even, just the compression aspect of the socks, and the fact that we have our technology built into them, so it's going to help improve circulation alone just with our technology. We've seen that. And then we're going to add the compression factor into it. This is going to be an amazing tool for so many of us. And so there was a question earlier that I got on an email wondering why they were not available in small sizes. And so I've inquired on that, and I didn't get an answer in time to share that. So we're going to send out a link to a copy of this recording to everybody that was on the call tonight. And in that email, we will answer that question for you as far as the sizes. Apparently there were some people that have a size 6 or 7 women's, and they didn't have a size small enough yet to accommodate them. So we will do the best we can to answer that question and to get all the right sizes in. Of course, we've just launched the product, so I believe there's a good variety of sizes that we do have available, but clearly we want to be able to help and literally affect everybody. So these are currently available just for the practitioners. So we're really excited about that. And then the other new product that we got this month just came out in December finally is our knee brace. And so this is another Vox Therapy knee support. Now we have literally looked at dozens of different types of knee braces in order to build our tech into. And we got close a couple times, 6 months ago, a year ago, and then the quality of it, it just didn't last. And so, as you know, we pride ourselves in having very high-end, high-quality socks, insoles, and even patches. You know, anything that we're going to come out with, it's going to be very luxurious. It's going to be very high-end, and it's going to be unlike anything else on the market. And we have our tech built into it to make it completely unlike anything else on the market. So here is the picture of our new knee brace, and then there's a PDF that this will be available in your back office if it's not already, that you can use to share this. Oops, let me make that smaller. I'm on a big monitor. And so you can see that there's actually two different places that you need to measure your thigh and then the top of your calf. And so that's going to kind of guide you into the right size that you want it to fit. It's going to be important that you want it to be comfortable, but yet not too snug that it's annoying that you can't wear it ongoing, you know, for a long period of time. And so, again, we've been so excited about this product coming out, and it finally has come to fruition. And so we're real excited to have these available for the practitioners. And for those of you that don't know, we also have these really beautiful racks for the office that can actually hold up to $4,000 worth of product. And I apologize, I don't have an image of that right now, but you can see it in your back office there. And those are on rollers, so it makes it very convenient. There's a front and a back side. It has the Vox, you know, banner and everything built into it. And it really is sharp in the office. Patients come in and they just start grabbing inventory off that. And when you have it there, they see what they want and they just take it. It's hard to keep inventory in stock, as many of you know, as I've visited so many of your clinics across the country and have seen the big bins of extra socks that you need to replace that inventory literally on a daily basis. And so we're real excited to have the practitioners and to keep developing these programs. Now, we do have the practitioner portal called voxmed.com, and you guys can all use your credentials to access that. If you haven't spent time in there, I really urge you to do so over the holidays. There's several short little clip videos that just teach you little tidbits of, you know, ways of communicating this to patients and to, you know, family, friends, just to people in your life that cross your path. There's so many opportunities we have to help people with this technology, especially during this holiday season when we've had these amazing specials where they've literally given us a ton of free stuff. I hope everyone has taken full advantage of that and stocked up on your inventory as we begin to launch the next year. So we are going to have several new things going on voxmed.com, a lot of new training tidbit videos that you can do on loop videos in your office, things that you can pass and share. We are also revamping that website. So sometime, you know, next spring, we're going to have a new practitioner site that literally when you get on the site, you'll be able to pick from the drop-down list of what type of practitioner you are, and then the entire site is going to populate to your language and to your imagery and to, you know, the way things will flow best for your type of practice. And so this has been a really extensive project that we've been working on for the last year, and we were hoping to have it done sooner than later, but it'll be sometime in the spring. Now, the sooner than later is going to be our actually Vox Life.com. Our Vox Life main corporate site is going to go through a major transition in January 2020. And so we are really excited to have this. It's going to be really geared more towards people that don't know a whole lot about Vox. And when they come there, they can really engage, learn, and soak it in and then be able to take action. And so it's going to be an amazing asset and a tool for all of us to be able to continue to build our businesses and to, in fact, bring in 1 billion people to help save the planet. Now, what I want to do now is I want to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to go into some slides that are going to explain what eSmarter is all about and what the difference is between the Vox technology and the eSmarter technology, and then what happens when you put them both on together. So it's very exciting to see. And now I've been working for doing both technologies for 2 years now, and we've mapped, gosh, over 6,000 brain maps with and without the tech on. And what we've seen is so phenomenal. And what we're seeing now with eSmarter, as we're getting more and more studies done, is the power behind this cognitive boost technology has a much greater impact on cognition, obviously, because that's what it's for. It's cognitive boost technology. Now, we've seen a lot of amazing results with our Vox socks, the insoles, the patch. And, you know, technically it doesn't really matter which one you're wearing. And to put 2 or 3 on isn't really supposed to make a difference. We've done so many brain maps with each one of them individually, and then doubling and then tripling. And honestly, they all just line up perfectly over the top of one another, whether you had 1 on or 5 on, or no matter which one you had on. But what we've found over the course of doing so many brain maps for these last couple of years was that certain people have, you know, serious neurological deficits. I deal with a lot of people with brain and spinal trauma. And so let me just give an example. So I had a patient who had shoulder surgery and it kind of went bad. They nicked a nerve and the whole shoulder was just dysfunctional afterwards. They had to replace the whole shoulder, and then it became dysfunctional when all the muscles atrophied. So, but that was her dominant arm. So I did a brain map, and then I put a patch on that arm because that was the hand she wrote with, even though it was the injured shoulder. And lo and behold, her brain map was 32% better functioning neurology with the patch on. And so I thought, well, that's about average. That's great. So I guess it doesn't really matter that the shoulder's damaged. And then I thought to myself, you know what? Let me just go check. You know, if you don't mind, can I just do 2 more maps? Let me take this patch off and I'll put it on your other side. And let's just see if that has a greater effect on your brain. Well, you know what? It was 64% better on the left side. So clearly, having to send the tech through a damaged area took away some of its ability to communicate 100% to that brainstem and to clear those first 4 Brodmann areas. That's basically Brodmann areas 1, 2, 3, and 4 is the somatosensory cortex. It's all the information into the brain and back out. And that's what our Vox technology does. It clears that pathway to allow things in and out. Now, similarly, we had a patient with really bad neuropathy and couldn't even feel their feet. Now we put the tech on, and again, it was 20-something% change. Well, when we put the patch on, it was over 40% change because this one didn't have to go through bad feet and bad legs. It just went straight to the brainstem from the arm. So again, it does make a difference. And then just to throw this out there, I was going on a hike. I have my socks and insoles in, so I got the tech on me. You know, a few miles from the car and my back starts hurting. And this has been a long time since this has happened to me. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, am I gonna be able to even make it all the way back to the car? So I reach in my pocket and I pull out a patch because I always got patches on me. And I just put it right over my back where it was hurting. It took about 20 seconds and my pain was gone. I went another couple miles and then I started to get a little neck pain. And I'm like, man, what the heck is this? And so I grabbed another patch and stuck it on my neck. You know what? The pain was gone. I went 2 more miles all the way back to the car. Now, why did that happen? That doesn't make logical sense to me, but it worked. And I've had several other people say that they've had certain pain or, you know, a situation happen that was just, you know, a crisis. And when they put the patch on that area, their body was able to communicate and heal that area or alleviate some of their symptoms. So don't be afraid to play with that. You know, I always have a pack of patches in my wallet because I always want to see somebody in need and just walk up to them and be an angel and just bless them, especially if they have a walker or a cane, or you can see they're really struggling because literally you put it on and it's like, what did you just do? You just gave them superpowers. They just started walking away. So we've seen so many videos and brain maps in previous calls that we've done where I've shown you what the Vox technology does on the brain before and after. Well, what I'm about to show you is what the eSmarter does on the brain. And again, now we're not looking at brainstem and limbic system and all the other, you know, functionalities of the brain. When we're using the Vox HPT technology, 100% of the people that put that on, it clears the brainstem. Some, maybe not 100%, but it clears the brainstem. Now, you only have so much, let's say it's 40% more neurology. Well, 8% of that the brainstem took. Now that extra percentage, 32%, let's call it, where does it go? Well, what we've seen is whatever the worst broadband area is in the brain, or the most dysregulated part of the brain is, that's where it goes. And it calms it down or wakes it up. And so it's not like the tech knows where to go. Your body knows where to go. Your brain, your neurology knows where to go. If you just got extra helpers on, it's like, listen, I got a project that these guys need some help on the second floor. Get up there. You guys in the backyard, you got people that need it over there. So your neurology knows exactly how to shuffle around and use extra nerve flow and extra energy when it's available. And so what we see is it fills in the worst places first. Now, if the worst place for you is in the frontal cortex, like your cognitive part, or maybe back here in the occiput, which is vision, memory, pattern recognition, facial recognition, all of that, if those two areas is requiring some healing, and that's where your Vox technology went, well, when you put the eSmarter on, it's designed to dial into those higher cognitive functions. So it goes right to frontal and occipital lobe. It takes about 20 minutes to get there and to be fully functional. You're not dealing with brainstem. I'm not dealing with your pain. I'm not dealing with balance. So you can't do any of those tests that you can do with Vox because that's function of brainstem, right? So we're not dealing with limbic and lower body systems and brainstem and primitive stuff. We're going into higher cognitive stuff. Hence the slogan, learn, play, create. Right? And so these are things that need higher cognition. So if my socks were helping me with my ADD, let's call it, that I have in the frontal part of my brain that's just overactive all the time, if the socks helped calm that down a little bit because I had 32% extra and that's where it went, well, when I put the cognitive sleeve on, it's going to go right in there and take care of that. Now that extra 32%, it's going to go somewhere else. It's going to find the next best place that needs help. And that's what's so cool about this. And we're taking the full 40% to the frontal cortex. So we're seeing much higher percent changes, an average of in the 50s to low 60s percent of change in your neurology just by putting that sleeve on. So let me go ahead and share a couple slides here. This is cognition. It's your focus, attention, clarity, your decision making. It basically calms the chatter in your brain. Okay, and so a lot of times people just have a lot of noise going on in their brain. An average person, just, you know, a fact for you, an average person thinks of about 7 things at the same time. Somebody that has ADD, they're thinking like 20 things at the same time. So remember, Jay originally invented this because his kids are coming back from college saying, Dad, all my friends have to take Adderall to study. Isn't there any way you can help them? Isn't there anything you can do? And so he started going after the higher cognitive functions. And so this was who they were created for. Well, lo and behold, athletes started picking it up and getting right into the zone and performing better and more accurately, longer, better stamina, better decision-making, faster on the fly, reflexes, all of that. The students obviously could study a whole lot better, retain things, reading it one time through versus having to read something over and over again. And then the musicians would get more creative, and artists would just kind of tap into that creative mode. And for those of you that are creative or artists, you know that you know, it's not like you can just turn a switch and I'm in that zone for most people. You know, you have to be in the right circumstance at the right time, and now also my creative juices just start flowing. So people using this tech are finding that they can get right into that zone if they're a writer or a musician, and they can just perform at a much higher level, much faster. And so it's going to bypass that autonomic nervous system, and it's going to the secondary nervous system of higher cognition. And so this is attention, this is visual processing, this is memory, this is pattern recognition, this is speed, accuracy, stamina, decision making. So we looked at 10 cognitive networks to evaluate this, and we're looking at the speed of connection, the number of nodes or Brahman areas recruited in a network, the speed of the information that's flowing through these networks, and the amount of information, you know, the amount of flow. And so the things that are going to dysregulate your brain, stress, obviously, anxiety, trauma, drugs, environment, we're exposed to such an amazing amount of things that harm ourselves and that put disharmony into our body. And so when we find things that can dial it back in and get us performing the way we are intended to perform, it's so exciting. And so all your regulated brain waves and the locations of the brain waves we're listening to, and then we can say, okay, I'm hearing this brain wave here. Well, where did it start? Way back over here? Awesome. How long did it take to get from A to B? We can give all that data. And so we know exactly where your problems are, where there's, you know, hang-ups in your neurology that are not allowing the system to flow and to function right. You know, we just take for granted our health, so many of us, and we take for granted that people talk to us and I can understand what they're saying and apply it and remember it and use it again in the future. And we just think that everybody does that. You know, you would be surprised at how many people a day that you're sitting there talking to that aren't listening to you, that hear words but don't process it. They're thinking of something else. They'll nod their head and smile and move on. And it's like, we live in a world that's just completely disconnected and dysregulated. And so we can't just assume because we speak words that people got it. But I can assume that if you put this technology on you, I know your cognitive function is going to kick up a notch, and I know you're going to be more apt to be able to pay attention to me because those 20 things going on in their head is going to be down to 7. And so there's less things to be distracted on, and they're going to be able to put that focus in. So think of it like if you're driving in your car and you're listening to a radio station, okay? And you're out here in Colorado and we're just on these long mountains, and all of a sudden I'm out of range. I'm too far away from that antenna. It starts getting static and it starts not sounding good. And then eventually I can't hear it at all. Well, think of this as a boost to that antenna. It puts a bigger antenna out there so my car can go further before I lose the signal. Okay, and so this is a boost to your cognitive antenna, so your brain's cognitive functions can communicate better to your body. Okay, it's like a fog remover. If you're driving on the road and there's fog, everything's still there. The road is there, the mailboxes on the side of the road are there, the parked cars are there, the trees are there. You just don't see anything because you have very limited visibility. But as the fog lifts, you can navigate your way down the street and not hit anything. Okay, so this is in essence picking up the fog in your brain so everything becomes more clear and easy to visualize, and it's allowing you to perform at a much higher cognitive level. And it's amazing that this is only a $55 retail product to have all of these absolutely amazing benefits. So we've done lots of studies. What I'm about to show you is several examples of people that we've looked at, and we've put this technology on, and you're going to be amazed because it's a lot more profound than what we've been seeing with the other technology. Okay, and so we have a baseline map, and then we put the tech on, we wait 20 minutes to have full effect, and then we do another map. So if gray is normal, yellow is 2 times too fast, and red is 4 times too fast. So this is a very overacting and hyper parietal area, occipital area in the brain. And we see within 20 minutes, it all calms down. We see an area that's all blue here. Here, green is normal. And we are very slow throughout the whole front 3/4 of the brain, and then a hot spot where there was a head trauma. Now we put that sleeve on and we can see front and back turn all green, right back to homeostasis. So then we look at what's called coherence. Now this is how well can I share information throughout all these broadband areas. And if you see any lines here at all, it's not good. The dark blue lines are the worst because that's really slow coherence. Light blue is 2 times too slow, dark blue is 4. And then the yellows and the reds are too fast. So we can see clearly it's as if they wore the socks for a year. This is amazing to see that much coherence clear up within such a short period of time. And then this is information flow. This is just raw flow of information, point A to point B, not sharing, not multitasking, not, you know, sharing it throughout the brain, just straight A to B. We can see over 95% of the brain came back online. And so again, this is amazing. If that was your child and you're wondering why they can't study and why they're not retaining everything, and it's all confusing to them, and then all of a sudden you put this on and they come back and they just told you the whole chapter they read, you'd fall out of your chair, right? That's the power of this cognitive boost technology. Now, this is when we look at all networks. This is the 30,000-foot view of the brain in all the broadband areas and which ones are not communicating well, meaning too fast or too slow. Ideally, you should see no lines. And it's very rare that we do anybody's map and pre-post maps and see any type of significant change, maybe a little bit of change, but not significant when you're looking at all of them. With this, it's like over half the brain came back online. That is such a tremendous amount of change. Then we look at specific networks, anxiety. Well, anxiety is a cognitive network. Look here, it's all in the front and it's all in the back. We see this person go from having severe anxiety to no sign whatsoever, completely back online. And they feel it. They says, oh, I can't live without it. As soon as I put that on, I feel normal. Okay, well, her brain looks normal too. That's what it's supposed to look like. Here we look at depression network. Again, low extreme brings it right back up, okay? Calms things down, wakes things up, whatever you need to achieve homeostasis. When we look at the attention network, again, this is cognitive function. This is why students, athletes, musicians, artists, it brings these attention networks back online and optimally functioning. Here's ventral attention. This one, the first one was dorsal. So dorsal is locations, features, and things, like where did I park the car? And, oh, you cut your hair, you know, that type of thing. Where ventral is being able to pivot attention. Like, I'm working on this project, I'm almost done, and somebody says, hey, can you come give me a hand? Like, do I say, give me a minute and finish and then go help? Or like, sure. Put it on hold and go pivot. Hey, we're supposed to go to Hawaii. You know what? They canceled the flight. We're not going to be able to go. But I'm like, oh, well, pivot my attention. What are we going to do instead? You know, or am I going to let that, as my dad would say, get my goat and make me all upset? Oh, I can't believe we're not going. That's so not fair. Why'd they cancel the flight? Okay, this is this network that allows you to just pivot and find the best in everything. Okay, and so this comes back online. We look at executive function network. This is one of the most important ones because this is your working memory, your mental flexibility, and your self-control. And so this kind of makes your world work, right? Executive higher functioning, doing what you know you're supposed to do. We can see a big change in the whole communication and connection with that network. So now we look at, well, what happens when you do both, okay? And rather than confusing you with all those other images, I'm going to show you just an image of a person's brain compared to his own brain. So here, green is normal. So let me kind of just walk you through the steps. So first is our baseline brain. We can see 80% blue, which is just too slow cognitively. This person is slow to move, slow to react, slow to respond. And when we put the eSmarter sleeve on, it was amazing. It was like their eyes just brightened up and he was much more attentive. And we can see the front and the back red spot all calmed down and the front blue all woke up. So nice pattern. However, we still have blue on the sides and down here, okay? Because it's not working here, it's working front and back. That's what it's designed to do. Then we took the sleeve off and we just put the patch on. With the patch, it took this brain and it flip-flopped it. It took down the red in the back, woke up the front, but again, it had to use some of its neurology to fix the brainstem and everything from the brainstem up to that area. So it just didn't have enough to get the whole back green. Okay, so it did some of it, but not all of it, because there was other things it was doing. Then we added the sleeve back on and did the map with both 20 minutes later. And we can see now the sleeve did what it did before. Exactly, it brought the front and the back green. And then the patch turned and it took the blue out of the sides because it no longer needed to work on the front and back. So that's exactly what I was explaining before. It's your own neurology knows where to send it. So it's not like Jay figured out the code that for me, it's going to go here, and for you, it's going to go there. It's opening up brainstem, allowing it to function. And the other one is rebooting, doing a Control-Alt-Delete to all your cognitive Brodmann areas. And that allows the cognition to improve greatly. So we're wearing the sleeve when I'm playing golf, when I'm driving. So especially if there's traffic and stuff that gets annoying, I just want to keep chilled and cool all the time. I'll wear it when I'm adjusting and I'm in the zone, you know, as a chiropractor. I'll wear it when I'm reading in the morning, when I'm studying and reading. I wear it for times when I know I'm going to have to be cognitive. If I'm doing reports, that I have to create all these map reports, I wear it during then because I'm much more efficient, and it seems like I get twice as much done in the same amount of time. Okay, so it's enhancing my own professional abilities and it's improving my cognition at the same time. So I absolutely love it. Both of them work amazing independently. Together they work better. Okay, and so with that, I want to share with you something other really cool that I've been working on. So as I mentioned before, that I've been traveling all around the world doing amazing things with amazing people. And a lot of these things we're doing are with athletes because I just love sports, and Vox has such an amazing foothold into the sports arena in pretty much every sporting type of event. Okay, and so what I've been doing is working with some professional golfers, and we were trying to see really what goes on in the brain of a golfer, right? And especially a pro golfer that can kind of get into that zone. And so what we did is we took the brain stuff out on the golf course, put the caps on them, and had pro golfers go through 12 putts. There were 3 lines of putts, all 5 yards away from each other. And we were mapping their activity, why it happened. So I made a quick little video to just explain the kind of things we can see, and then how we can show how much better our technology works when they start using it. So let me share that. This is Dr. MarkDeBrincat, and we are looking at real-time QEEG brain mapping to look at cognitive performance during golf. And so the video you're seeing is synced up with the brain map and with the color changing images. So we can tell that when he's getting focused right before he goes to putt, everything calms down, the brain turns mostly all green, and then we see a lot of chatter in between moves. Now, this technology, while we're mapping, also gives us the ability to focus on any one of the cognitive networks also live as it's happening, from the anxiety network to the attention network, even executive functioning network, how well they can stay focused and keep the calm and the chatter out of their brain. And so because it's happening so quickly and there's so much change happening, it's hard to assess and give you an exact output of what change is happening, other than the fact that with the CBT technology on, when they're in between moves, the brain tends to stay green and stay more engaged ongoing versus so much chatter coming in and out. So that was actually pretty fun and exciting to be able to do. And, you know, they are pro. He is a pro golfer. So I would expect them to be able to, you know, get into the zone like that. But it was astonishing to see as soon as you could tell right when he's looking at the putt, and then all of a sudden his brain just goes green. and everything just calmed down real smooth. And it was like, boom, right in the hole. And then all of a sudden it would be all red and all chaos again as he's moving to the next thing. And then he could do it again every single time and at will get right into the zone. But then after we had the sleeve on him, it was like there wasn't the chaos in between putts. It was staying calm and green, and he was just going. And he noticed that he felt like he didn't have to think so much about it. Everything just kind of, he was getting right back into that zone easier and effortlessly. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to do so many cool things, and we already are doing a bunch of other cool things, but I had made that quick little video to send to Jay just to show him, you know, what we can do with this tech and how we can see things live, and just to give us get his wheels spinning so we can do some more cool studies, you know, with the golfers. So all of that will be coming up this next year as well too. We're doing some amazing things, as I keep mentioning, and I'm just not allowed to talk about it all yet until some of these other things are finalized. So with that, I thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. And I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. Have a great, fantastic holiday season. And we look forward to revamping come beginning of the year. We have a lot of new exciting things happening. The UK opens right after the beginning of January. And so we're going to actually be going over there at the end of January and doing a bunch of meetings for people. And so this is real exciting. So if you have family, friends, connections in the UK, make sure you get them up to speed and on board with what's about to happen, because this is going to grow like wildfire. And even in other countries too, which we're not allowed to talk about because Jay's going to make that announcement. But there's some real exciting things coming down the pipeline. We got new products coming out this spring. We got new websites. We have new products available right now for the practitioners. The compression socks can be billed through insurance and get reimbursed. That's very exciting. So now the people that maybe can afford it, and the people that maybe never would know about it will know about it because their doctors can prescribe it now. So this is super exciting. We have some great clinical studies that'll be wrapping up here real soon, coming out this next year. I'm wrapping up one on the long-term use of Vox product. And these are people that have worn them more than 8 months, day and night. And it is so exciting. I've met so many of you people again just this last month. And if those of you are on the call have been mapped by me last year, and it's been more than 8 months, by all means call and try to get in on this before it all closes. Because that'll be a published paper that we'll be putting out. And basically what it's proving is the long-term use of this product is continuing to help heal your brain. And so it's like doing neurofeedback and biofeedback on trickle charge all day, all night, all the time. It's so amazing. So the things that initially change the brain no longer need to be changed because it's been healed. Then it goes to the next best area and the next best area. And so in fact, when we're looking at these brain maps, we're seeing people that were, I'll show them 4 brain maps. Their initial map before and after from a year ago or more, and then their before after with and without the tech now. And their without the tech now is way better than with the tech then. And then with the tech now goes even further. So it really is remarkable. And when people finally click and get it, that it really is doing that all the time, they won't want to take it off. And so prepare yourself for success. Make sure your sock drawer has enough socks in it that you never need to know, am I going to be able to wear Vox today or not? Okay. It's been over 2.5 years, and there hasn't been a day that I haven't worn it. And so it just doesn't make any sense. Not when you see what I see. I mean, when you've seen your own map, if you're on this call tonight and I've already brain mapped you, or you've been brain mapped by somebody else and you put the tech on and saw the difference, you thought to yourself, well, geez, why would I ever take that off? That's exactly what I thought. But hearing other people talk about it, it's interesting, but it doesn't always make people have a call to action. You know, and I work with so many people with spinal traumas, and quadriplegics and people with all sorts of different disabilities. And to be able to see breakthroughs left and right from day one is just so exciting. There's no greater reward than to help give somebody their life back and their freedom and their passion and their purpose in life. And so we have the ability to touch so many people's lives. Even if you're not a doctor, you can still help people because you're not prescribing and you're not trying to treat anything. We're just trying to help people be the best they can be. So with that, I wish each and every one of you a very happy, happy holiday season, and God bless you. And we look forward to helping develop your practices and continue to grow this Vox business and help a billion people in many years to come. So let's start this next decade off with a big bang and really go out there and find 5 other practitioners that you know that need to know about this, how it can help enhance their practice, take their patients to that next level, and give them a better year next year, a little bit easier year because their neurology is functioning better and because they have a little bit more cash flow coming in to offset some of these holiday expenses. So with that, everybody have a blessed evening, and we'll talk to you next year.